The Galactic Dominion had ruled the universe for over 1,000 years. They had conquered countless worlds, enslaved entire civilizations, and crushed every resistance that stood in their way. No species had ever defeated them. No army had ever survived their wrath. Until they met humanity. The invasion begins. High General Xyrox of the Dominion stood aboard his massive warship, Doombringer, gazing down at the blue and green planet beneath him. His crimson eyes reflected the burning anticipation of another effortless conquest. Earth was just another primitive world, backwater rock with no significant power in the galaxy. The humans think themselves special, Xyrox sneered. They are nothing but insects. His second-in-command, Commander Vectel, stood beside him, nodding in agreement. Their technology is outdated. Their military is weak. It will be over in days, maybe even hours. Xyrox turned toward his fleet. Thousands of Dominion warships surrounded Earth, each armed with plasma cannons capable of reducing entire cities to rubble. Below, billions of unsuspecting humans went about their daily lives, unaware that they were about to become nothing more than footnotes in history. Begin the attack, Xyrox ordered. The fleet descended. Warships tore through the sky like falling meteors, launching energy blasts at major cities. Skyscrapers collapsed in massive explosions. Highways melted under the extreme heat, and entire neighborhoods were vaporized in seconds. On the ground, the Dominion's foot soldiers, towering reptilian creatures covered in obsidian armor, marched through the streets. Each one carried plasma rifles that could disintegrate a human with a single shot. The invasion was swift, brutal, and absolute. Or so the Dominion believed. Then something happened. The humans fought back. The first blow. At first, the Dominion barely paid attention to human resistance. Their weapons were primitive: bullets, missiles, and explosives. Nothing that could compare to the Dominion's advanced energy shields and plasma-based technology. Xyrox smirked as reports came in of human forces retaliating. Let them struggle, he said. It will make their surrender even sweeter. But soon the reports started to change. A Dominion transport was shot down over North America, not with plasma cannons, but with hacked Dominion missiles that have been turned against their own forces. A battalion of Dominion soldiers was wiped out in the ruins of Tokyo, ambushed by human special forces who used guerrilla tactics to outmaneuver the larger, slower aliens. Entire warships started going offline. Earth's hackers had infiltrated the Dominion systems, disabling targeting arrays and overloading ship reactors. The humans weren't just fighting back. They were winning. The turning point. As the days passed, the Dominion began to realize the terrible truth. Humanity was unlike any species they had ever encountered. They weren't just fighting to survive, they were adapting. By the time Xyrox sent in the Black Talons, the most elite warriors in the Dominion's history, the humans had already studied their weaknesses. In New York City, a group of human soldiers lured the Black Talons into an abandoned skyscraper. The moment they entered, explosives rigged to every floor detonated, sending thousands of tons of steel and concrete crashing down, burying the Dominion's finest under the ruins. In Russia, the Talons were met with a different kind of warfare: snipers. Human marksmen used long-range rifles to pick off enemy leaders one by one. By the end of the week, every single Black Talon was dead. The unthinkable had happened. High General Xyrox received a hacked transmission. A human soldier, his face covered in dirt and his armor dented from battle, smirked at the camera. "Your strongest army," he said. "We wiped them out." The message ended. For the first time in centuries, fear gripped Xyrox's heart, humanity's secret weapon. In a desperate move, Xyrox ordered a full-scale planetary assault. Every Dominion warship, every available soldier, every war machine was sent to the surface. If brute force couldn't crush humanity, overwhelming numbers would. But humanity had one final trick up its sleeve. The Dominion had one fatal flaw. Their technology was too advanced, too reliant on energy systems. And humans had discovered this weakness. Project Iron Rain was activated. A massive network of electromagnetic pulse, EMP, satellites orbiting Earth simultaneously detonated, sending a powerful wave across the entire planet. Dominion warships shut down instantly. Engines failed, shields collapsed, and weapons refused to fire. Thousands of Dominion vessels, once symbols of galactic terror, became floating metal coffins, helpless against Earth's forces. On the ground, Dominion soldiers found their plasma rifles useless. Their armored exosuits became dead weight. Then humanity struck. Jet fighters, tanks, and artillery rained destruction on the disabled Dominion forces. Special forces units stormed command centers, eliminating enemy generals. Engineers hacked Dominion drones, turning them against their own creators. Even civilians joined the fight, armed with nothing but knives, makeshift explosives, and sheer determination. What the Dominion had failed to understand was simple. Humans didn't just fight wars, they ended them. The fall of the Dominion. By the time the dust settled, Earth stood victorious. The once mighty Dominion fleet was nothing more than wreckage floating in space. Their invasion force had been annihilated, and High General Xyrox captured. He knelt before humanity's leaders, shackled in restraints made from his own broken armor. The very species he had mocked and underestimated now held the fate of the Galactic Dominion in their hands. A soldier stepped forward, the same man from the transmission. He stared down at Xyrox, then turned on a universal broadcast, sending his voice across the galaxy. The Dominion is dead. Humanity stands. If any of you think of invading us next, just remember this. We don't just fight wars, we end them. Across the universe, planets that had lived in fear of the Dominion rebelled. The once unbreakable empire crumpled overnight. Humanity had done the impossible. They had wiped out the strongest alien army. And in doing so, they had changed the fate of the entire galaxy.